It's 9:20. Means it's 4:20 somewhere. If you got one, spark up. Damn. What the fuck was that? I don't know if y'all heard that. It was either a loud ass firework. I don't know. Anyways, tonight will be a little bit of a rant night. Got a couple of videos though we'll go through. I want to talk about the protests at the Barclays Center. I love this protest. I've spoke about a similar protest before, only that one was just walking through the streets. But the protesters are again the unholy union of Black Lives Matter and MAGA. I call it an unholy union because it's not a state-sanctioned union. And by that I mean the state and the media have been doing everything they can for the last several years to pin these people against each other. And, for quite some time it worked. Had you told me a year ago that Black Lives Matter and, MAGA would be protesting together, I'd have looked at you like you was crazy. Especially with the political climate. But all it took was Mayor Bill de Blasio and Kyrie Irving. Mayor de Blasio created the mandate. And Kyrie Irving, he stood up against it, saying he was doing it for people who, aren't in his position. Because he wants to help hold the line. And the mainstream media is really struggling because they're trying to. I haven't seen anybody in the mainstream media try and cover this, even though it got put on lockdown. They had to go on a temporary lockdown because they don't want too many people seeing that. It's not, because they've been trying to push it as, Trumpers who are out there rejecting the Fauci juice. When that is clearly not the case. Partially is, but not the whole case. So one, this stuff crushes their narrative. Two, again, it's the unholy alliance in the eyes of the state. So let's watch these couple videos. Right here we got the he's the president of the New York chapter of Black Lives Matter.
One thing to get here is one thing to kick over that piece of shit barriers, but it's another thing to get our message out. And our message is that we will not be forced to put anything in our bodies that we do not want.
So again, Black Lives Matter.
Do not trespass. Don't trespass. Do not trespass. Do not trespass. Do not trespass. Don't do it. Do not go past the line.
one of the jokes I've seen in someone talking about this was these security guards did more to protect the Barclays Center than the Capitol Police did on January 6th. See, this guy right here, though, he came prepared. My man got 2 Louisville Sluggers in his backpack. And what I think, and my reason for thinking that this is so important. Look at how empty this stadium is. You have all that going on outside, and that stadium is, what, maybe a third capacity? Maybe. That might even be a little bit high. Definitely less than half. Fuck, maybe even 25%. And that's why this is important. Because when, the Nets have some power and pull in New York City. They are a big business that pays big tax dollars. And I'm sure they also contribute to local politics. So, applying pressure to the Nets and other businesses who have that political power, where they have that ear to power, applying pressure to them is going to be the best way to get results. Because once their pockets start getting affected by this, they're going to start picking up the phone, calling de Blasio, like, hey, yeah, this ain't working for us no more. Pockets is hurting. Really, 25%. You think they can make it through the season at this capacity? And then they could even take it a step further. Do a boycott of watching the games on TV. Once you start hitting big money's pockets as a result of things like, the mandates, you hit their pockets and let them know that this is why their pockets are getting hit. They will turn around and apply that pressure. And that's why I feel, because there's been people who are saying, oh, take it up with City Hall. City Hall's gonna City Hall. You take it up with them, you take it up with other businesses, and you let some of these big money interests know, like, your pockets will be affected if you continue to comply with this. You will see either companies will stop complying, or they'll pick up that phone and be like, hey, look, we tried, got a bunch of people to get it. It's a worthless mandate to begin with. Because at the end of the day, you can still pass it. Like the way this mandate in New York City works someone who hasn't had the juice but does not have, the bug, cannot go into a restaurant. However, someone who does have the juice but also has the bug can. You know, and in colleges and places where they make only those who don't have the juice get tested regularly, that's the same thing. You know, you have some places who are making people get tested, juice or no juice. That if your goal is catching it and trying to isolate it, that's the only logical way to go. Because just saying you got the juice doesn't mean you don't got the bug. But yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. Let me know your thoughts on the protests and the mandates, whatever have you. But I think this is big. And I'd like to see it spread to more than just New York. There are other cities now that are applying similar similar type mandates. So it'll be curious to see if there is a similar situation where you have, as I call, the unholy union between Black Lives Matter supporters. Well, and see, I say it like that, but it's the black part of Black Lives Matter, if you will. Because the white liberals who support Black Lives Matter, they weren't out there. Because it's them who are mostly in support of such mandates. And MAGA. That's the unholy union that's gonna have the establishment shaken. That's just my opinion, though. But let me know your thoughts, or if you have any suggestions, anything. Other than that, thanks for watching. Have a nice night. Stay blazing.